Go.
Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Pigskin Politics. We're starting off the next season. Playoffs are starting to get really close, and the season's near. I'm pretty sure we got a good idea who's going to make the playoffs, who's not going to make the playoffs. But one thing I wanted to touch on was, do you think the Bills may be a tad bit overrated?
The Bills of all teams being overrated. Why?
I don't think they've played any really good teams so far. The teams that they've beaten are worthy opponents. They beat the Jets twice.
Yeah.
They beat the Dolphins twice.
Yeah.
They beat the Redskins, the Bengals, the Giants, the Cowboys, Broncos.
Yeah.
The only team with the winning record they beat was the Titans, and I think the Titans missed 4 field goals in that game.
One was blocked, but yeah.
And
then they fired their kicker. They lost the Eagles, lost the Pats by a defensive score.
I'm not saying they suck or anything. I think this Ravens game will be very telling. It'll see where they actually are.
There's some merit to what you're saying, but
they haven't played a good team. They play the Ravens. If they beat the Ravens, they're like, okay.
We've said that about the Niners and the Patriots, though, too. I mean, and you can only play the teams that are set before you.
I know you can. But don't you think that adjusts your stats a little bit playing weaker opponents all the time?
Well, it absolutely did. That's why the Patriots had a record-setting defense for like 9 weeks.
The Ravens game will be very telling in that, at least. I'd say.
Okay.
If they beat the Ravens, which I would assume they could.
Well, let's just roll into that game first, then. Who do you think will win?
The Ravens, just because they've been playing so well. They've won eight in a row, and
do you ever pick against the Ravens?
I did in the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
But then they went on a hot streak, and they're clearly the best team in the NFL, so it's kind of hard to...
Clearly the best team in the NFL.
Yeah. I'd say so.
They're a great team. Are they the best? No.
Who's playing better than they are right now?
The Saints.
You really think the Saints are better than
They're my Super Bowl pick. I'm not going to change it. Here's the thing. You're right. The Bills are a bit overrated, but they're also underrated. They're the only team basically locked into the playoffs that I think isn't getting a lot of praise. And people are still gushing about the Patriots being 10-2 because of that defense. That Bills defense is on par with the Patriots defense. They're winning games not by a good offense, but by a great defense. And don't think for a moment that this doesn't have upset potential. Am I going to pick against the Ravens? No. But if any team is slotted to knock the Ravens off, it's the Bills.
I think this is the last good team they play.
Their defense is as good as San Fran's, but Buffalo actually likes to have its quarterback scramble. So maybe they'll be a little bit more ready for Lamar.
I do like Josh Allen.
I think
he's a pretty good quarterback.
I think this game will be more telling than last week's game. I thought the Niners-Ravens game was a bit of a snooze, but I think this will be
it'll be a telling game.
Hotly contested, probably low scoring, but just because the Bills' defense is good. But I'm picking the Ravens. But don't think for a moment you're the best team and there isn't the chance that they upset here.
I think they could beat the Saints.
Okay.
Dallas at Chicago.
All right, so God, both those teams are 6-6.
Who would have thought Chicago would be this bad at the end of the year? I wouldn't have thought. I thought they were going to go at least 10-6 this year.
I mean,
back in the playoffs, but
Mitchell Trubisky probably. Like he knew.
Trubisky. Yeah.
Oh God, in Dallas, their big problem is their coach right now.
You really think it just stems off of that, or is it just other inept things like?
The numbers don't lie. They do have a top offense. They do have a good defense, and they are still falling flat on their faces.
They also haven't played a very hard schedule either, though. The NFC East is bad, dude. Really bad this year.
Yeah, and the Cowboys are bad, but I mean, it's just. Well, okay, I get what you're saying. You're saying that they're playing easy opponents, and that's inflating their stats. Okay, sure, but you'd still. Even if they're not number 1, they'd still be near top 10. Like, they still have a good offense, even if that's how.
But they're somehow still losing.
That's just how averages work. And
normally, a team with a good offense has a good record.
Better question is, which one of these teams is more disappointing this year?
Probably. That's a tough one. Because Dallas, did they do this weird thing where they have a good season, a bad season, a good season, a bad season? Last year was their good season, but I thought
this is their bad season. Absolutely.
I thought it'd be good, but they continue the trend. So I guess next year they'll be 12-4,
maybe. But all right, we've meandered around this long enough. So, real answer. There was a correct answer. Dallas is the more disappointing one because Dallas has more fans, and Chicago is going to win this game.
Dude, I'll just go with Dallas for shits and giggles. I don't know.
I think Chicago matches up well just because the one good thing about the Bears is good defense, and as I stated last week, Colin Cowherd hit the nail on the head. Look at Josh Allen. He's not a great quarterback, but Dallas let him look like a superstar.
I know.
If Mitch Trubisky can get through this game with above an 80 passer rating, I think they win. And I think that is a testament to how bad the coaching is.
Dallas, you should be thankful that you're not out of the playoffs after losing 2 in a row to really disappointing games. You guys still have a chance to win the division.
You're welcome, Dallas. The Dolphins did you a favor.
Moving on. Miami at the Jets.
Okay, so let's talk about fun games last week. Dolphins beat the Eagles. Did not see that coming. I should have listened to my buddy who's an Eagle fan who demanded I pick the Dolphins. Didn't listen. That made me look dumb. But still enjoyed that. That was a great game. But let's talk about arguably a more surprising loss. After rattling off 3 34-point games in a row, Adam Gase fell flat on his ass and put up 6 points against the worst defense in the league, Bengals. What the absolute shit.
The Raiders were the Super Bowl. I said it last week.
I didn't think it would happen.
I didn't think it would happen either, but there was a small possibility, and I knew it was there.
Weeks ago, we said who was worse, the Bengals or the Jets. I think that clinched it. The Jets can rattle off games that matter to no one, but the moment that the opponent fights back, they crumple like wet toilet paper.
I don't even know who I want to pick here, honestly.
The Dolphins
I want to go with the
Dolphins are going to win, and it's going to be so poignant because the Dolphins are. The Jets still technically have a shot at the playoffs. The Dolphins defeating them would lock the Jets out of the playoff contention entirely. So what would be more poignant after Adam Gase and all his bullshit of ruining my team to then go to the Jets, talk all this crap and talk about how he's going to make them a playoff contender, to then get swept by the Dolphins, lose to them at home, and then have that loss be the nail in the coffin. It's too perfect. It's too perfect. Adam Gase cannot avoid it. That is cheese in a Gase trap. He is going to get his neck cracked. It's going to be hilarious. That's fine. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go with the Dolphins on this one.
Thank you.
Moving on. Carolina, Atlanta. Wow, this one's
no, not a hard one.
I don't think it's a hard one, actually, because Carolina's fired the coach, and I think Atlanta's kind of pissed off that they lost to the Saints in the last minutes.
Normally, teams, after they fire their head coach, they actually have a bit of a bounce back, and they're a bit stronger.
Atlanta's good at the division,
This one surprised me, because I don't see Ron Rivera as a bad coach, and I think this will have a bit of the opposite effect. I think the Panthers are going to come out flat and get creamed by the Falcons.
That one did surprise me. I don't think he was a bad coach either.
I mean, 3 division crowns, I believe it was, a trip to the Super Bowl in 9 years.
Yeah.
That's about a 33% rate if you're just judging by the metric of playoffs. He had an excellent coaching career. I don't get it.
He still had a decent defense.
And not only that,
run game
his starting quarterback's been injured multiple times.
Yeah.
It's hard to survive that, but I don't get why Carolina did it. Maybe there's something more, but I'll say this will have the opposite effect. Carolina's going to come out flat, and Atlanta rattles off another meaningless divisional game and just hurts their draft capital.
All right. I'll also go with Atlanta.
Yep.
Anyway, Cincinnati at Cleveland.
Cleveland should give up, but they won't.
I think Cleveland should also give up. I think Cincinnati should also give up, and they should just both stay there.
I would say that if Cincinnati was winless, this would be a trap game. Cincy has their win.
Do you think they're going to be thirsty for blood, though?
No, not
They just want to win so bad.
They got their one win
bad.
like a sleeping bear, and now they're going right back to winner. They got it. They're good. I don't think they'll compete against the Browns. And what's a shame is the Browns probably still think they have a shot at the playoffs at this point.
9-7 is the best they could possibly do.
Yeah.
I think last week was a heartbreaker for them, but they should still beat Cincinnati.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's nothing good I see about Cincinnati, unless somehow AJ Green comes back and plays for like this 1 week. I don't know.
This one could be a trap game. I mean, Andy Dalton was playing a bit on fire. You know, he was playing pretty well, but I honestly just think that was because he was benched and he shouldn't have been. And now that they got their win, they're good. I think
that's good for him though to start though, just to get some tape and see what people want in free agency. Maybe he can start somewhere else.
But I think Cleveland wins. Don't get me wrong, I see how Cincy could win, especially if Dalton's starting. Well, he will start, but
then the Browns.
It's just that Cincy got their win. They no longer will they go winless, and that's a big fear. Trust me. There was a year the Dolphins almost did that. They got it. They're fine. They're good.
Washington at Green Bay.
So Washington won another game. That was weird.
Yeah, but they're not beating Green Bay.
No, they are not.
So, do we really need to talk about Washington?
I mean, we should at least talk about this for 20 seconds. Washington has a surprisingly good run game based on last week. Upset the Panthers, probably leading to the firing of Ron because that was an embarrassing loss.
Was that it?
Maybe.
You think that did it?
But Green Bay absolutely trounced the Giants. Green Bay might be a bit of a pretender, but they absolutely fleece teams they should fleece.
It's in Green Bay. They should win. Yeah. I see no reason why they shouldn't. They're the better team.
Well, there we
They've
go.
been better all year.
20 seconds, Green Bay.
Detroit at Minnesota.
Well,
go with Minnesota, man. They just lost to Seattle in a heartbreaker at the end, but they're still in the playoff mix. I think, they got the 5 seed right now? No, 6 seed.
They're the 6 seed, and if they lose and the Rams win, the Rams move above them. So this is a must-win game for Minnesota.
It's a must-win, and Detroit's given up on the year.
It's kind of sad. Remember when they were real? Like, they were actually real, and I think it was just like a couple weeks ago it became apparent they were just done.
They were a different team a few weeks ago.
And they'll continue to give up.
Yeah.
I don't know what else to say. I'm sorry, Detroit. But go with Minnesota.
All right, I'll just move on. This is going to be probably the game of the week. San Francisco at New Orleans.
See, that's what everyone said about that game last week with San Fran and Baltimore. That was a boring-ass game. I don't care what you say. That was stupid, sloppy, turnover, and overly aggressive.
I think you just hate both teams, man.
No, because it was stupid and overly aggressive. One of you guys could have done better if someone just frickin' punted on 4th down. No one wanted to. It was
true.
Stupid.
Do you think similar fashion is going to follow in this game?
No.
You don't think New Orleans is going to take some risks, or San Francisco
I don't think they
try
need to. Here's what it comes down to. San Fran has a great defense, great run game.
Yeah.
You know who else does? The Saints have a great defense, great run game. So then, just let's say that's +2, we'll balance it out. All right, scores are even. You got Garoppolo versus Breeze.
Yeah. I'll also take Breeze over Garoppolo, but actually there's really no but. I'm just going to pick New Orleans.
Right? I mean, shit.
I think San Francisco is a lot better than I initially thought in the beginning of the year.
I'm still kind of writing that. I'm a hater on him. I'm not gonna lie.
I know. I don't like Garoppolo either. I don't think he's all that. But I said their defense was okay, and we did a video about how their offense wasn't all that.
No.
But I think they're pretty good
as a whole. I mean,
yeah, as a whole,
they're doing better than I gave them credit for. And granted, they messed me up a lot of weeks this year, but. I mean, granted, they may only have 2 losses. They dropped down the 5 seed. I'm not gloating over that. I knew they weren't the best.
Could you imagine if they went to the 6th seed?
Yeah.
They lost these guys and lost 2 of their
Shit, they can miss the playoffs still if the Rams go on a rip.
I doubt that.
It's not mathematically probable. I'm saying it could happen. But San Fran, I didn't buy them. New Orleans has this game in the bag. I don't know. And, okay, at the very least, it's in the Superdome. Or is that Mercedes-Benz Stadium? There we go. Saints win.
Saints.
You know how hard it is to win there?
Fair.
Yeah. unless you're the Falcons.
Indianapolis at Tampa Bay. Ooh, this is a interesting one.
You know what's fun about this game? We had a bet going about the Colts. If they don't win 10 games, you owe me some money.
Well, that was before Andrew Luck retired.
I don't care.
I know. We're still going on it.
You didn't give me a tanking clause for my Dolphins bet, so...
I kind of want to go with Tampa Bay on this, not going to lie.
Just to already lose the bet? They'd be 6-7 making 10 wins.
Indy's not all that recently, dude. They haven't been playing all that good in the last, 4 weeks.
I actually am going with Tampa Bay too, but just because I like to pick the upsets, and Tampa Bay's the quote-unquote weaker team. But Tampa Bay put up a good performance against the Jags defensively. And what crushed the Colts? A good defensive showing by the Titans. Can Tampa Bay pull it off twice? Probably not, but Jameis Winston is a good fantasy quarterback, so he'll put up points regardless.
I swear, I keep saying Tampa Bay would be different if they had a good quarterback. It could be a good team.
Yeah, and so much disrespect to the Colts, honestly, but Tampa Bay. But I'm picking it as an upset. I'm picking it as an upset.
I'm just picking it up because I think we're going to win.
Colts should win, but I'm going with my gut, Tampa.
I mean, if the Colts are desperate enough, who knows? Denver at Houston. This one's a gimme, I'd say.
Yeah.
I think Houston's going to follow up with another big win. You just beat the Patriots. You can't lose to the Broncos.
Wouldn't that be fun?
That would be so sad.
Funny, I'd say. But the Texans will win for one reason, and mathematically it's that they are not the Chargers.
Yeah. They're a lot better than the Broncos. I don't even know who the Broncos...
The Chargers now are swept by the Broncos. The Broncos have 4 wins total. They picked up 2 wins elsewhere. I don't even care to think about what they were right now. God, what were they? Now I do want to know.
They have Drew Lock in right now. Didn't they have someone else in and then they switched to Drew Lock?
Flacco?
No, not Flacco. It was someone else and then they went to Drew Lock.
Wasn't it like Brandon Allen?
That sounds right.
Cool. Well, then, yeah. But, okay, we're getting off topic. This isn't a hard one to pick. I mean, how much do you like upsets?
I mean, a lot, but this isn't an
upset.
This
isn't an upset. This is an obvious pick. This is a no-brainer.
Better team, better offense.
This is a game that you'll pick if you have any common sense, and you'll pick the Broncos if you're a Broncos fan. It's just one of those games.
Chargers at Jacksonville.
Wow. Oh, God, that's a weird one.
How disappointing has the Chargers been this year?
Yeah.
You said who's more disappointing, Dallas or Chicago?
Throw them in the mix.
Throw them in the mix. I think they win it. I thought they were a Super Bowl team last year. They had a really balanced defense, a really balanced offense, all in the top 10 in all stages of those.
It's a heartbreaker. For whatever reason, I don't know. I actually picked them to win the AFC West. Stupid.
I didn't. I picked KC, but
I
know why they suck though, and it's because Phillip Rivers is the white Jameis Winston.
Really,
dude, he throws a lot of picks.
How many interceptions did he throw this last week? At least one.
He's got to be leading the NFL right now, and interceptions are close.
You remember the Chargers team from a couple years ago that invented ways to lose? That's what they're doing this year.
They're inventing.
Did you see the one last week? They tied it, 14 seconds left in the game, and they immediately commit PI to give a game-winning field goal to the Broncos. What the actual shit? Chargers are snake bit. They find ways to lose, but you know what's funny about that year? They still managed to beat the Jags in blowout fashion. So I think the Chargers just have the Jags number. It's one of those weird matchups where the Chargers win 9 times out of 10. I'll go with that. Plus, Nick Foles looked like garbage and a waste of $81 million.
Same. I mean, crap, dude. They got blown out damn near by Tampa Bay.
Mm-hmm. How much money was spent on Nick Foles? My God, Jacksonville.
No, it wasn't like Jimmy Garoppolo contract, but it was like $66 million or some crap like that.
I thought it was like $80. It's a lot of money.
Maybe.
Yeah. He's probably benched. You know what's funny? I'll guarantee they have a better chance to win if Minshew starts. Yeah.
All right. Tennessee and Oakland. Wow, what's Oakland been up to the last 2 weeks?
They've lost by a combined score of 72 to 12.
Ouch. I don't know what the hell happened to them. If they just got blown out by the Jets and thought they'd bounce back, and that obviously didn't happen because Kansas City's good at playing the division, but Tennessee's got a really good chance of winning the division right now. I wouldn't say really good, but
they play the Texans
to get
twice.
The 6th seed.
Yes.
Good chance 6th seed.
They have a good chance at the playoffs as a whole.
I'd say go with Tennessee on this one because I don't think Oakland has a real chance of making the playoffs. Right?
Yeah, I'm playing the hot hand too. Sorry, Dad. He's a Raider fan.
Yeah, but does he watch your videos?
God, someone needs to. Honestly.
Tennessee has had a really good run game and a pretty good defense the last
And Tannehill is lighting
Tannehill's
it up.
good.
He's playing great.
Oakland's backpedaling. I don't know why.
Yeah,
they were looking like they were going to be a playoff team. Like, okay, maybe this might be Oakland's year to get in the playoffs.
All they had to do was show a little bit of fight against the Chiefs, and I wouldn't feel this way. I chalked up the Jets game to a trap game.
That game was over within 10 minutes, dude.
This is a good game as far as wild card contention goes. Oakland needs to win it if they want to stay in the conversation, but I gotta go with the Titans. Tannehill has been crushing it as a passer. He's making good, timely scores. He's not throwing picks. And then their defense and special teams to boot is just suffocating. And remember, we had given up at the Titans earlier in the year. What brought them back? Defense and Tannehill. We said they were underrated, and we were arguably right.
5-1 with Tannehill. You can't argue with that.
Yep.
Anyway, moving on.
Almost like he was a good quarterback, and teams shouldn't have moved past him.
But you guys got Josh Rosen, dude.
Yay.
Kansas City at New England.
Ooh. So that's a fun one. So do you remember a couple weeks ago, I don't know if I mentioned this on here, but there are 4 premier teams in the AFC right now. You got the Pats, the Chiefs, the Texans, and the Ravens. And what's funny is I think of those 4 premier powerhouses, the Pats are the weakest. And they can prove it this week by losing to the Chiefs. The one team can lose to all 3 of the others. And if that happens, and I'm picking the Chiefs, spoiler alert, I think this is the end of the Patriots dynasty. That Tom Brady-led offense is worse than Mitchell Trubisky's.
You're not wrong. I don't know about the whole ending the dynasty thing because Bill Belichick will still be there, but if he is there, he's too good of a coach to have losing seasons, I feel like. But they're susceptible to really good offenses this year.
Clearly. The 2 good offenses they played, they got flattened.
Yeah, and now they're about to play Kansas City, another good offense.
Mm-hmm.
It just goes to show that they were playing easy opponents earlier in their season, and they're like, the defense of all time better than 2002 Ravens and 85 Bears. Fuck off.
You're so petty.
Dude, you're not going to have a defense.
You could have just said the 85 Bears and been impartial, but whatever, you're right.
They did say that, though. They're better than any other defense there statistically. And then the Ravens dropped 37 on them, and the freaking Texans blow them out, and they only made the game close because it was garbage time.
In garbage time, Brady threw for 2 touchdowns and 144 yards.
If Kansas City goes in New England and dropped 40 on them,
final 6 minutes, he evened his stat line.
Yeah. Go with Kansas City here.
I'm going with KC, yeah.
Even though they never beat New England for some reason, but I think this is their year.
No. They should have beat them the last 2 times they played. And you can't fix it every time with refs. I've never seen...
It is in New England.
I've never seen such a disparity of talent on the Patriots. It's just next to nothing left. They only have their defense.
I know.
But, and I stand by this, the Patriots dynasty's over. Straight up.
Okay.
They get lucky and they avoid teams they don't want to play in the playoffs and they ride that to the Super Bowl. It's not going to happen this year. It statistically can't. You got 3 good teams that can beat you.
All right. Pittsburgh at Arizona.
Huh. Well.
This one's interesting because I think Arizona could actually win this game because I think, their season's over, but at least they're playing for something this year.
You're an asshole.
Playing for next... Dude, the Steelers...
No. I mean, because I wanted to disagree with you on this one because I thought you'd go with Pittsburgh. I'm going with Arizona, too.
Pittsburgh is not good. I don't care what Devlin Hodges did.
Yeah, that's what it comes down to for me. It's Duck Hodges versus Kyler Murray. And
Kyler Murray is superior.
Yeah, he is. Straight up. I don't know why the Browns lost to Duck Hodges. They did. But the Browns are weird. The Cardinals have at least shown fight in a lot of games this year.
So,
a lot of. They should have beat the Niners in San Fran.
They're at least exceeding a little bit of expectations. I'd say.
I mean, they fall flat on their ass against the Seahawks and the Rams, but this isn't the Seahawks or the Rams, and I think the Steelers are overrated still.
They're mad about that Super Bowl from like 12 years ago. Who knows?
I mean, even though the Steelers have been on a win streak of, 7 of their last 6 have been wins, have they scored more than 20 points? Or has it just been around that?
Dude, their offense is not good.
Exactly, and I think the Cardinals can put up at least 3 touchdowns.
Pittsburgh's offense might be worse than New England's offense and Chicago's offense, and that's very bad.
Yeah. I think Cardinals win this one just because I think the Cardinals have at least some versatility. Kyler Murray can scramble in the pocket, hit Fitzgerald on nearly any slants or, deep post. Fitzgerald's so good. He's being... Oh, God, he deserves a ring.
Man, everyone thinks he deserves a ring.
I won't say it's a smart pick, but I'll go with Arizona. I actually think it's one where people are like, oh, Pittsburgh gets this, and then they're surprised this next week. Yeah, I think Arizona.
All right, same. Now it's Seattle at the Rams.
Okay, interesting one.
This one is very interesting, actually, because Seattle's coming off a big win. Dude, that was a good Monday night game. I like that game.
It was. I liked it.
The Rams kind of pulled their head out of their butts recently, but not really. Ish.
I mean,
they got flopped by the freaking Ravens, but before that, they were playing okay. Then after that, they beat the Cards down.
They started 3-0, and then they lost, 5 of their next 8?
Something like that.
And now they just, beat the Cards, and I'm not really impressed by that. They know their division. Which thus leads to, can they play the Seahawks well? They could have arguably won in Seattle. I think the refs botched an interception return, but what have you. Seattle still won. Both teams need this. Seattle needs it to maintain the division. LA needs it to keep their playoff hopes alive. Do you think the Rams have it in them to beat the Seahawks right now?
No. I don't. I think the Seattle Seahawks have their eyes set a lot higher than the Rams do. They have their eyes set on first seed playoff Super Bowl, where the Rams just have it on 6th seed. Yeah. And I think the Seahawks want it more. They clearly showed it against the Vikings.
It was a great game they put forth, and I picked them as well.
Then the Rams offense hasn't been all that recently.
No,
they did. Jared Goff.
Jared Goff finally had a game where he did better in fantasy points than Jameis Winston. But guess what? I'm starting Jameis Winston this week.
By week 13.
Yeah. Well, he started well at the start of the year. But
yeah, but then he just had crappy... He had a lot of...
There's a reason I picked up Jameis freaking Winston, okay? No, I didn't draft him. He was a free agent, and he's performed... But not last week. It's an interesting one. Rams can win this, but my heart says Seahawks.
Tim. All right. Giants at the Eagles for the last one.
That's going to be a boring game. Sorry, dudes.
This one's tough to pick.
My friend's Giants and Eagles fan. They're married.
Oh, God.
I
didn't even watch that game. Just turn
They
it
need
off.
to.
Just to see who's really worse.
Yeah.
The Giants could still technically win the division, I think, maybe.
They'll watch it with their newborn, and that'll just make their kid want to grow up and be a Redskin.
Just grow up and not like football. Think, I don't like this.
No, whatever. Football. So, Eagles are the better team than the Giants here. Remember when we thought maybe the Giants got a little bit of under-respect? Since that point, they've now lost 7, 8 straight. And, hell, Daniel Jones looks like what people knew he was, an overreach in the draft. And he performs for a drive a game at this point.
Yeah.
And give the Eagles all the crap you want for losing to the Dolphins. The Dolphins just emptied out the playbook on the Eagles. Okay, it was
really wanted to
They
win.
went for it on 4th down 3 times and got all of them. 2 of them were touchdowns. They went for surprise onside kicks.
They really wanted
They
to
were
win that game
just
for some
playing
reason.
spoiler because the Dolphins have some feist in them right
Do you
now.
think
The Giants do not? That is where I was going.
Okay.
And
I think the loss last week to the Dolphins is like, oh crap, we
That was a
actually
fun one.
lost to a bad team. We can't do it again.
this is a get-right game for the Eagles.
They could still win the division. There's still 6.
I think
and
they
6.
actually will, but they're 5 and 7.
5 and 7. Whatever.
Yeah.
Oh god, they are 5 and 7.
Yeah, but they close out their season with 4 division games. They can still right the ship. Eagles got it. Giants, I think, owe the Eagles a bit.
They
But
have an easy schedule coming up.
tell you this, if the Eagles win this game by, say, just a field goal, that's it. Now, screw it. They're done. It's the Cowboys division by virtue of sheer incompetence.
But they never beat the Cowboys for some reason, even though the refs helped them out. But
I think you just answered it right there. But even if you're the refs right now, do you even want to benefit a team that's this apparently bad?
it's like benefiting the Steelers for some reason. I don't know. It happened, but now they're not.
You know, for as big of a fan base as those teams have, there's also a lot of Cowboy haters, and I think that's why sometimes the Cowboys, don't get the ref calls, and I find that funny.
Good.
That's about it.
Anyway,
Playoffs are soon.
talk about that in another video.
All right.
But for now, see you.
Yep, bye.